thank you so much for that great intro. And the intro to the story that, as Connie asked, is the most embarrassing. Connie is his wife, of course. I'm going to try to make it short so I don't interrupt my 7 minutes too much. But the most embarrassing was I leased a space to a sound studio, the recording studio. And they had soundproofing material in the inside of the walls, on the inside walls of the space. And because they had neighbors on both sides, that were actually there, they actually heard some, as they called it, weird sounds. So I knocked on the door to go in, nobody answered. I knocked harder, I took my key out and I rapped on the door so they could hear the sound of the glass. Nobody answered, so I used my key and I went in and I wanted to see, maybe there was, who knows what was going on inside. So it turned out that there were 2 people in there, male and female. Do I need to say more? Thank you. They were busy, as they say. Wow. And you never know what you're going to find. I always rap and I call the number, nobody answered. You do what you can. All right, so this morning I thought that I would do what I actually do when I first start with a client. And it actually occurred yesterday. Somebody walked into my office who had seen my website and didn't call first, just walked in. Thankfully I was there. And he owns an engineering company and they want to move into much larger spaces. They're right now in a small space and they want to go into much larger spaces. The bottom line is, how did I help them? How do I help them? How do I help you if you need space? I'm going to use an example. Let's see, Terry, you own your own business and you own your own space. If you did not own it and your lease were coming up for renewal, you at some point would have to decide where you would need to go. I use a tool called CoStar. CoStar is a system that delivers me the data that gives me the information that I need. If those who can see this, there are black little flags and red flags on here. This is this area right here where we are. That little blue shining dot there is us, where we are. The black flags mean those are buildings that are full, that have no empty spaces in them. The ones that have the red flags are buildings that have empty spaces. So if I touch one of the red flags, and I click here, it brings me the details on that property. It'll show me a picture of the property, and I can see it in big when I click on it. Or go back. Let's see. Or it'll tell me the size of the property. It's 14,000 square feet. It's a Class B office building. So there's all types of information that I can pull up. The property is a property that sold in 1996 for $900,000. And it is, let's see, they have no available spaces in it. So what I'm getting at is, let's go back to it gives you all the data. I have all the data that I could possibly need. And I'll be glad to show you. In fact, I'll just pass this around. People can click on this. So let's say, how many square feet do you have right now?
1,300.
You have 1,300. If you were to move into another space, would that be enough space?
Yes.
Okay. So would you want to move into a space that is near you or nearer to your key personnel? Those are one of my key questions that I ask.
Closer to my employees' homes.
That's it. That's the important thing. Your key personnel or your employees that you really want to keep and maintain. Because if they're driving a long distance, every time they drive, they're thinking, do I really need to do this? And you wonder, how long will they do that? So businesses have decisions to make every time a lease comes up for renewal. And that's one of the big advantages to having a lease, is that you have the opportunity to go wherever you want to go. You have the option to move or not, to expand or contract. Those are the key options, and when you go to move, you decide on your key personnel, people that you really want to keep in your company, hopefully besides yourself, you want to make sure that they stay. So I'll throw in, okay, what area of town do you want to be in? If you wanted to be in Midtown, you wanted to be in Kennesaw, it doesn't really matter where you want to be. I would put into the search criteria a location, and then usually what I do is a 3 or 5 mile radius. From that point, I see what is available within 3 or 5 miles of that location. So if we know that there are, let's say, 20 spaces available, well, maybe only 10 of them might work for you. Well, that's 10 spaces that we can see. Generally, what I will do is I will go and preview as many of those as I can in advance to not waste your time, because maybe of those 10, maybe only 8 could work and the other 2 would be useless to you. They don't have enough walls, or they have too many walls, or the landlord is unreasonable in whatever they expect, or, you know, there's a number of reasons why a space would not work for someone. So why would I ask, you know, about where location? Because that, in real estate, we all know the line. There's only 3 things that are important in real estate, and that is location, location, location. So the first thing I always want to know is, where do you want to be? Where you are and where do you want to be? And then from that you go, how many square feet do you need, which is size, how many rooms within that size, how many actual offices, how many open areas do you need. All of that fits into your criteria. What is it that you need? And then we go into budget. Okay, now that we know what you need, how much do you think you need to spend to get there? Well, that's always a key indicator of a location, because a location that has very good access, that has good amenities like maybe if you're in a building, you might have a cafeteria or a gym, those are considered amenities. Or you might be in a location that has a lot of restaurants and bars or banks and all types of businesses that are near you that are convenient for you. That's another good indicator to a good location. Access, if you can't get to the property easily, get in and out of it, or we call ingress egress, as another indicator of what is important to you. I mean, I can go on and go on. There's you know, I helped a client with a store, and they ended up taking another store from a landlord that they had previously talked to. A month after he moved in, he says, I made a mistake. I should have listened to you. I said, you're going to have problems getting in and out of here. He says, I should have listened to you. So I also posit your professional tenant rep consider when you need space, call your professional.